Welcome into Hockey Sense, everybody. Brought to you by First Community. How we doing? How's everyone doing out there? Happy holidays to you. Happy New Year. It's 2026, and Hockey Sense rolls on here at Half Coast Studios. Great to have you with us. Cam and Strick podcast is back on. You know, we take a little bit of a break. I don't like asking people to come on and join us during the Christmas week or New Year's week, so we take a couple weeks off, rejuvenates us and gets us ready to go now for the second half of the NHL season into the playoffs, and obviously through a great busy off season, which we love on both shows, not only Cam and Strick, but certainly here on Hockey Sense as well. How about Skip-a-Pay? First Community understands this time of year is expensive, whether it's from the holiday shopping, you got other year-end expenses, personal property taxes. I know it, man. And everyone's stretched thin this time of year. That's why we offer a Skip-a-Pay program to members in good standing, which allows you to skip your monthly loan payment on any eligible loan when certain conditions are met. I mean, how nice is that? You just skip a loan payment? Are you kidding me? You can set up your loan Skip-a-Pay yourself in online banking at First Community or in the mobile app. So do that and do that today. Dirt Cheap Fun Fun, your one-stop party shop. Download that app and do it today. Find the location nearest you. If you're within 10 miles, hey, you get that free delivery when you use the promo code BLUES. They've got so many great deals there on their app. You got to download the app. The deals are so good they call them steals. That's where you get all the great deals. You got to download the app. They've got so many specials and all this type of stuff that they have going on. Don't sleep on the party goods, man. If you've got any parties coming up, birthday parties, you just got through the holidays and all that. But, you know, Valentine's Day is around the corner. St. Patrick's Day is around the corner. And if you are hosting or having any events, get all the paper goods, all the decorations that you need. Don't sleep on that. The beer, wine, and booze. We all know that they have the best selection there at Dirt Cheap, but they've got so many other things going on at the Dirt Cheap locations. Find one nearest you. Cheap, cheap, fun, fun. Dirt Cheap. Your one-stop party shop, baby. We love Dirt Cheap. We love Lordo's Diamonds, too. Get that special someone something special in your life. Are you looking to pop the question for Valentine's Day? No better place to get that engagement ring. So if you walk in with a budget of $100,000 or $100, guess what? You're going to get treated exactly the same. I got my wife a new necklace for the holidays. Beautiful gold, 14-karat gold chain. It's a beautiful chain. You can get so many different things over there at Lordo's Diamonds, man. They become your jeweler for life. They become family over there with the one and only Lordo's Jewelers. Right there in the heart of Ladue. Right next to Truffles. You just can't miss it. Check it out. 314-432-8008 for Lordo's Diamonds. Say hi to Mike and Jimmy when you walk in there. Lordo's Diamonds, baby. We love our friends over there at Lordo's. All right, the Blues lose last night, 7-3 to final in Chicago. I don't even know what to say about that game. It just completely got away from the Blues. And I felt like they were playing well coming out of the first 20. They get the big goal early in the game, scored by Tyler Tucker. And then what happens? I mean, the wheels just fall off. We get into this with Jamal, so I don't want to spend too much time with it. And I'm not pointing the finger at Jordan Binnington, but sometimes it is what it is. He just didn't have his best game last night. He obviously wasn't tracking the puck very well and wasn't seeing it very well. And nobody was playing great in front of him. There was one deflection. There was one bounce in front, maybe two bounces in front. So it's not all on Jordan Binnington, but pucks were going in that typically don't. And that's a credit to Jordan Binnington, right? You tip your cap to him because he doesn't allow goals like that to typically go in. So we're not used to seeing that from him. The whole situation with Joel Hofer trying to come in, that was confusing. I don't know where he was at. Jim Montgomery wasn't asked about it. I haven't asked anyone about it right now in terms of what was going on. It was late in the third period. It was under 10 minutes left, maybe 7 minutes left. So it's not the time you typically see a goalie change anyway. But they wanted to get Binnington out of there. And they weren't able to do so. So for whatever reason, and we'll find out. But I don't think it's that big a deal. You move on, you turn the page, and now you focus on a couple of games coming up this weekend, back-to-back games. And just because the Blues played poorly in Chicago shouldn't give you any idea of how they're going to play in the next game. I mean, you go back and look at the Colorado game, then the Blues come home, they win back-to-back games against two good teams, Vegas being one of them, Montreal being the other. And again, Jordan Binnington struggled in a lot of games this season, but he was great in that Montreal game. Gets named to Team Canada and comes in and shuts down and shuts out the Montreal Canadiens. So anyway, so that's where we're at. Jordan Kyrou, I mean, here's a guy who's just getting a million chances a game, and he just does not have his scoring touch right now. I don't know what is going on with his inability to put the puck in the net. I do like to look at the positive. I know a lot of people out there will look at only the negative and say, well, he's not scoring. Well, he's not, and he is paid to score, and you need this guy to score. But if he wasn't getting chances, then I would be even more concerned than I am right now, and I'm still concerned. I mean, he's got like 8 goals on the season. I know he's had some injuries, but he's getting so many chances, and he's just not putting the puck in the net, and we're used to seeing the puck go in when he gets these type of chances during the course of a game. So this is a little bit confusing as to what's going on with Jordan Kyrou. And you just hope that he finds it. Because, once that next one goes in, this guy's going to go on a little bit of a tear. I mean, he's always been a pretty streaky player, and I would expect none of the less or more of the same if he's able to score here in this, one of these upcoming games and then get hot. So anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on Jordan Kyrou. It is what it is. He's getting a ton of chances, but you got to put the puck in the net. You got to score. You can't rely on just your bottom 6 guys to be scoring, and that's what we saw from the Blues. I think most of the goals were scored in those back-to-back games over the weekend. Toropchenko had some goals. Sundqvist scored a goal. I mean, you had some production from your bottom 6. Where's the top 6? Although Robert Thomas had some, nice game or, some nice plays and was able to score a nice goal and whatnot. And I thought he was fine again last night. It is what it is right now. Defensively, they're just okay. Just okay. Power play, not good enough. You're 0 for 5 on the power play. That's not good enough. Otto Stenberg looks like a player to me. And I know Jim Montgomery talked about it a couple of games ago that he wants to see more of that offense from him. Stenberg has kind of evolved into this two-way defensive first mindset player. But that's not who he always was. It wasn't who he was when he was coming up and what made him a first-round pick to begin with. He's got offensive ability, and we saw that last night in his first NHL goal. Just a beautiful shot. And I know Spencer Knight doesn't typically give up the short side, and Darren Payne talked about that on the broadcast, but he placed the puck perfectly. It was a beautiful shot. So good on Otto Stenberg, who's played 10 games now, and I think he's got like 6 or 7 points in 10 games. All but one being assists. So, and he's killing penalties, and he's on the ice in important situations, late in periods, late in games. So I like what we're seeing from him. Dvorsky obviously I think has more to give offensively, and you'll start to see him produce at a higher clip. I think he played over 19 minutes last night, still getting power play time. And Dvorsky's going to be a good player too. So those are the positives. Berggren's a guy that's come in here and he's stood out with his speed and his skill level. It'll be interesting to see what this lineup looks like when they get Holloway back, who's now going to be back within the next couple of weeks. I would imagine he'll find his way back maybe just prior to the Olympic break. That would be great if he could get back and get some games in before the Olympics. Bukestad should come back. But then what does the lineup look like? Who comes out of the lineup when these guys get healthy? Who stays with the team? Who goes down to Springfield? Who goes on waivers? What does it mean for a guy like Robbie Fabry? I mean, it's these are the questions that you ask when the Blues get healthy. But again, you just never know how it's going to play out. Somebody else may get hurt, and it could open a spot for another guy who's been injured now to come back in the lineup and replace an injured player. So you don't want to get too far ahead of yourselves. But, that's a game where you just kind of turn the page. But you just wonder at what point does Joel Hofer kind of just take it and run with it for a little while. That may be difficult to do this weekend with the back-to-back games. But with the fact that he's going to have a month off in February, and I know Doug Armstrong is going to want to get Jordan Binnington some games in January, down the stretch in January, towards the end of the month, and, get him prepared to go play in the Olympics. But who gives you the best chance to win right now with the Blues? I think that's the question you got to ask. And if you believe it's Joel Hofer, then he's got to take the net. And we kind of saw that a little bit last week, but then they had the back-to-backs, and Binnington played so well in that game against Montreal. I felt like he deserved to start last night in Chicago. I had no problem with that at all. But I think you look at it from the back-to-backs coming up, I wouldn't have mind if Hofer started yesterday and then got 2 of the next 3 games with one of these back-to-back starts versus the other way around. because I think the way Hofer's playing right now and the fact that the team is responding well when he's playing, that, he should be getting 2 out of every 3 starts moving forward until we see Binnington kind of get back to the level that we've seen from him throughout the course of his career. So we'll see what that looks like and how that plays out moving forward. Big shout out to Pius Suter, another guy who you don't have in the lineup that hurts. Named to Switzerland's Olympic team. Dvorsky named to Slovakia's Olympic team. I mean, Dvorsky's got an amazing resume already when it comes to international hockey and representing his native Slovakia. I think he played in the World Junior Championships 4 times, and he's played in the World Championships. U18s, U17s, maybe U18s twice. This guy's played a lot of international competition. That's going to help him, man. That should be a huge thrill for him to go to the Olympics, play for your country, and have an opportunity to be on the big stage and play against teams like Canada and USA and Sweden and whatnot. So big shout out to Dalibor Dvorsky. I'm a big fan of him on and off the ice. Same with Otto Stenberg, man. The Blues are bringing great people, great kids into the organization who've got a lot of upside. And I know some people say, well, you want a little more from Dvorsky. I mean, he's young. What is he, 19 years old, 20 years old maybe? I mean, this guy is so young. He's just getting his feet wet in the NHL, right? But the Blues committed to him. Listen, you make him a top 10 pick, you obviously have a certain expectation level for him, and I think he'll get there. I really do. So we'll see how that plays out. Lots to come here on this edition, though, of Hockey Sense, brought to you by First Community. Jamal Mayers is going to join us. Tyson Nash is going to join us. He'll give us his take on what's going on with Utah, and we'll talk about a number of other things as well. So looking forward to that. Matthew Tkachuk should be coming back very, very soon. Big shout out to Alexei Toropchenko, who signs his 2-year contract extension. Although I was told over a month ago that contract extension was done. So I think they waited for him to have a couple of really strong games in a row before they made the announcement official. But I was told that was done for quite some time. But a big shout out to Toropchenko. You got him signed. You've got Walker signed. So, 2/3 of your fourth line basically locked up for the next couple of years, which is good to see. So, we'll see how the rest plays out. Philip Broberg gets named to Team Sweden. He was one of the final cuts for the Four Nations team last year. He played his way into becoming the final cut, really. I mean, he was an alternate. They told him to be on standby during the Four Nations in the event they needed an extra defenseman. So there was a good chance that he was going to find his way onto the Olympic roster, and he deserves to be on there, man. And that's going to be great experience for him. It's going to help the Blues. What will his contract look like, this next contract that he's going to sign? The biggest issue with Broberg when it comes to finding that number, at least for me, is he just doesn't produce at a high level offensively in relation to the number of chances he gets. I mean, this guy gets more grade A chances because of his ability to use his skating and his feet, and he can drive wide, and he's a big body, handles the puck well. He just needs to establish that ability to finish in tight. And once he shows that ability, we saw him on the power play a little bit last night. Maybe he gets more power play opportunity moving forward, then I think you'll see the production increase. But what do you pay a guy like Philip Broberg if the production isn't there? I think he had 29 points last season, and I don't even know if he's going to get there this year, get to 30 points, So I know people are throwing around like $8 million a year. I mean, I guess they could pay him $8 million, but you'd like to see him be a double-digit goal-scoring defenseman with the number of chances that he gets. Find his way into that 40 to 60 point category. I'm not saying he'll get to 60, but he can certainly get between 40 and 50, maybe get north of 50 if he's on the power play consistently, and a good power play where you're producing consistently on the power play, then maybe he would get that opportunity. So anyway, lots to come here on this edition of Hockey Sense. We'll get into all of it. Don't want to take up too much time. So Jamal Mayers is next. I'm Andy Strickland. Thanks for hanging out on this edition of Hockey Sense, brought to you by First Community. Hope everyone had a great new year. Locked in, ready to go. We got a great show for you ahead. All right, let's bring Jammer into the mix. Happy holidays to you. Happy New Year. Hope you had a great Christmas, Jammer.
Happy New Year. You too, buddy. It's good to see you. Looking good.
Thank you. Likewise. You saw a good game last night with the Kings in San Jose. San Jose come back and win that on overtime? Am I remembering that correctly? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Macklin Celebrini, got to stay up late to watch him, but he is unbelievable. This is honestly, since when McDavid came in and unfortunately got hurt his rookie year, this is the most dominant player I've seen, definitely since him, and arguably he's a more complete player than McDavid was at 19. And
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say anything negative about McDavid. McDavid clearly is here. There's no question. I'm not saying Celebrini's at that level, but what I'm saying is I've never seen a player at this young be this responsible and talented offensively. It's been remarkable.
Yeah, I mean the closest thing you would say is Crosby, obviously, and Crosby had over 100 points as an 18-year-old. So I mean, I think that's the bar that Celebrini is chasing, right? You're chasing Sidney Crosby. McDavid's offensive skill set when he came into the league, and again, you're right, he had the shoulder injury. Remember, he got hit from, along the boards below the goal line. I remember the hit. Can't remember who actually hit him, but he probably would have gotten to 100 points too his rookie season. And you and I talked about this several weeks ago about Celebrini. I know you were asked about this on a San Jose pregame show. First couple of weeks of the season, could Celebrini get to 100 points? You thought no. Are you changing your mind now? Will this guy get to 100? I mean, it seems inevitable he's going to get there, right?
Yeah, I changed my mind, and I was wrong. And I thought he had a ceiling of 75 to 85 points. He's a rare generational special type of player, wired to continue to get better. And I mean, imagine when he has his man strength. Like he's 19. Like he's out muscling men and like dominating. It's just been remarkable to see him do this. It really has.
And you played against Crosby his rookie season. He came in 05-06. Ovi came in 05-06. Ovi was scoring 50-plus goals. Certainly didn't have the two-way game, but, was a remarkable player. He ended up winning the Calder over Crosby. Crosby had over 100 points. He took the 50-goal scorer versus the 100-point scorer. The 50-goal scorer got the Calder that year. But and there was so much hype surrounding those two players coming in at the same time. This guy's not a rookie. He's in his second year talking about Celebrini. So, but still, is he making everybody else around him better too? Because I think maybe that was your argument early in the season. And again, I'm not chirping by any means. I would have said the same thing you said probably. We're talking like a week into the season. But the question was, does he have enough around him to get to 100? How much better is he making players around him right now?
Yeah, right now he's finding unbelievable chemistry with William Eklund, which I think Sweden should have taken for the Olympic team. Kind of surprised
him. Oh my God.
I mean, he's been unbelievable. And the problem is when you don't see these players all the time, you just kind of look at the numbers. You're not going to really appreciate the player. One of the best along the boards players, not a very big guy, but so strong on the puck and creative and can finish. He's taken a step and shown that he might be the right fit on that line. But you've got Will Smith that's out. So when he comes back, where's he fit in? Because we're not even mentioning Chernyshov, who came up and has, a point a game playing with Macklin and has shown that he can keep the pace and has gotten better every game. So he does have some players to play with now, and I think that's helped. I think that the fact that Chernyshov and Eklund can do some of that wall work, I think you saw the one-timer that I didn't know that Macklin had, because he didn't have to be the guy in the corner with the puck. He was in the slot taking a one-timer and absolutely roofed it, reminded me of Austin Matthews. So we're not over, sometimes we overdo it with these players and kind of build them up. But the reality is it's been every game, Andy. It's like, I know this kid is just on another planet.
Yeah, and he'll be a top 6 guy on Canada's Olympic team.
Yes.
Which is remarkable, the fact that he's going to be in the top 6. Remember, people were saying early in the season, okay, can you take Celebrini? Well, can he fit into your bottom 6? Can he take on a bottom 6 role? Screw the bottom 6. I mean, all the big dogs on the team, they all want to play with him. He's going to be in the top 6, not the bottom 6.
There's no question. Think about it. He does all the work along the board. So the question is, obviously he's a center. He'll play the wing in the Olympics, which is fine. He's one of the best players I've ever seen. Now, Kucherov is great at collecting the rims and making unbelievable passes. I think he might be the best if you watch Celebrini, I don't think I've seen a player take the puck off the wall and get inside the dots quicker, or take the puck off the wall below the goal line, get above the goal line quicker than he does. It's sometimes he does it, and I think, oh, it kind of came off. It was like an accident,
Mm-hmm.
and then he does it again, and then he does it again, and I'm like, wow, it's remarkable.
Better than Patrick Kane would do in his prime.
Better, because he's longer, right? So he gets to the middle quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And no offense to Patrick Kane, he didn't shoot the puck like Macklin, so it's completely different. Completely different.
Are you concerned about Canada's goaltending?
Goaltending, yes and no. The reality is they're not going to have to steal games. They're just going to have to be good.
Unless you're playing against, I mean, you never know. I mean, Sweden's loaded. USA, obviously, you may have to steal a game against USA. You never know how that game could tilt.
Well, if that's the case, then that could be a problem. What I'm interested in seeing is John Cooper made a very conscious decision to go with Binner and never look back. And I think that was the right decision in a short tournament.
Mm-hmm.
The Olympics is a little bit longer. He may have a little bit more runway to see who rises to that occasion. But eventually, I don't know what that date is or game number that is, he's going to have to identify the guy. And I wonder if Binner is now not the guy to start with, or if it is going to be what John Cooper decides to do. That dynamic, I think, will be interesting to watch.
Yeah, and I've said all along, I mean, listen, they're going to have a plan, Jamal, because Logan Thompson's going to get a game in the first 2 games, maybe first 3 games. I would imagine the first 2 games. He's slated to start one of those first 2. And I thought all along that Binnington would get the first game. And then Thompson gets the second game, and then maybe they have a plan for who starts the third game, and then you decide, who gives your team the best chance to win moving forward following those first couple of games. But you could be right. Maybe it's easier to turn to Thompson versus turning to Binnington. And I haven't even looked to see who Canada's playing in the first game of the tournament. I think those schedules are starting to come out and whatnot. So these are interesting decisions, because you can't have a goaltender that's lacking confidence. I mean, last night's game in Chicago, Jamal, I'm just not accustomed to seeing that type of performance from Jordan Binnington, where you almost hold your breath. You're thinking every shot is going to go in. It got to that point during the game, because he was getting beat from distance. He's usually able to fight through screens and, track pucks through bodies in front. And he wasn't having a whole lot of success doing that last night. And I just hadn't seen him perform like that too often. Early in the year when he was struggling, there were so many defensive breakdowns, some fluky bounces in front, and you could maybe make the case, okay, this isn't all his fault. He's not getting a whole lot of help in front of him. And last night was on Binnington, in my opinion, in addition to the power play and other things that didn't go right for the team. But from a goaltending perspective, it's hard for him to point the finger at anybody else after last night's game.
Yeah, that's tough to say. I think it doesn't help when the pressure for him is compounded when your team is last in the league in goals for, right? When your leading goal scorer is Justin Falk with, I believe, 11 goals. When you have 6 forwards underachieving in regard to their production offensively, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can't, that is not all on Jordan.
No, it's not. The season's not, and that's my point, Jamal. I mean, the entire season, where it is not. Last night, I'm just looking at it as an individual game,
Yeah, and where was Ofer? I mean, I know the setup in the visiting room.
Explain that.
So the setup in the visiting room is this. There's really nowhere to sit for the backup goalie, and there's a tunnel that leads into the dressing room.
At the United Center, right? At
the United Center. And it's very common for the backup goalie just to sit in the dressing room to watch the game, which is literally a 4-second walk to get to the dressing room. My only explanation could be that he was in there talking to the trainer, which would be further away, or even further away into the change room, which talking to maybe an equipment person or sitting somewhere else watching the game. and was unaware that Monty was looking for him.
Yeah.
So it's not like he wasn't dressed or like was sitting there without his gear on. Uh, I'll give him a pass there, but someone needed to pay attention to, because the TV's in real time, right? You got the house feed that you're typically watching the game. That's not delayed. He's not given the 7-second delay video.
Right.
He's getting the real time video. Someone should have given him maybe a 3-second delay. Should have happened. The 15 seconds or whatever it was where we didn't know where he was. I think an explanation needs to happen.
Yeah, I was surprised that Jim Montgomery wasn't asked about it after the game. I don't think we had any local reporters at the game anyway, but somebody was asking questions. I wasn't there. We didn't do the game last night. It was a TNT game. We're heading off to Utah today to meet the team, so maybe we'll find out exactly what took place. But you could see the frustration from the coaching staff. I mean, Steve Ott is on his headset microphone thing, with his earpiece. He's obviously calling for Joel Hofer. Jim Montgomery's looking down the hallway behind him, being like, "Where is he?"
I got a question. But was that Joel?
Go ahead.
That video where there's a goalie looking around the corner.
Yeah,
was that Joel?
I believe so. Yeah.
What is he doing?
So I think that was after the fact, and it's not your
Just walk down the hallway.
Yeah, it's not your typical time when, he could have been in the bathroom, Jamal. Who knows what was going on? I mean,
I get that part, but I don't.
At that stage of the game, 7 minutes to go in the third period, you're not typically seeing goaltending changes. So maybe he just kind of shut it down, and maybe he was. I don't know, man. I don't want to even speculate because I don't know. One thing I do want to say, because I think it's unfair, I've heard some other people suggest that Jordan Binnington refused to leave the crease.
No.
And that wasn't the case at all. And I don't know where people are getting that. And I felt like maybe the broadcast almost insinuated that initially, and unintentionally, though. I don't think they were trying to insinuate that, but I think maybe people picked up on what they were saying to believe that maybe he didn't want to leave the crease. But he was sitting there. He was waiting for Joel Hofer. He knows where Hofer is. He's obviously in the dressing room. Once he sees him, he hops over the boards. Then Binnington would head to the bench.
Right. No, I think that's probably just, they probably just were not reading the situation correctly. I agree with you 100%. That wasn't, I mean, he's not going to leave the net without his partner coming out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely not on Binner.
And if there's one goaltender who just has that ability to flip the switch, I mean, it was the most Jordan Binnington thing ever, because again, up in Canada, maybe the announcement of Binnington making the Olympic team was met with some criticism. And so his next start was against who? The Montreal Canadiens. A lot of Canadian viewers. And this guy was unbelievable in the game at home. Shuts him out. I think he had 25 saves in the game, but he had some amazing saves in the game. And that was his first shutout of the season. So I was saying this is the most Jordan Binnington thing ever, for him to just basically, shut everybody up with his performance. And he was handling the puck so well yesterday, Jamal. The first period, his puck handling, he had that Binnington swag that we're accustomed to seeing. And then just 1, 2, 3 goals go in, and it just looked like that confidence just dropped a little bit. But if there's ever a goaltender, like I said, who can just flip the switch and just forget about it moving forward, he's the guy who can do that.
Yeah, then he's shown that time and time again. So, yeah, it's been a tough year for everybody involved. And I think that everyone's under the microscope. The lack of scoring, the lack of, pushback, all the issues, the pace that they're playing with, the goaltending. It's all those things compounded together that have made it for a difficult season. And I think that there's a lot of evaluation that's happening that we are not privy to, that it'll be interesting to see what comes about as we get through the rest of the season. Still halfway to go.
Well, I was joking with some people. The next best goaltenders available for Canada after the 3 that they named were probably Patrick Waugh and Marty Brodeur and Roberto Luongo. I mean, there's not a whole lot of options going on. Although Joel Hofer's Canadian.
I love that. You just, any chance to rip on Canadians, you take it. Like we could field 2 hockey teams of all stars and have Team Canada too, and they might get a bronze, and you're all over them because we're having trouble with our goaltenders. Meanwhile, U.S. has the best goaltenders, and that didn't win you the Four Nations either, did it? So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the Olympics. We might have to play a wager on this, Andy. It might make it fun.
Hey, I would never bet against Jordan Binnington or Canada. And he was, listen, to me, he's the best big game goaltender in the league. I felt that way going into the Four Nations. Wasn't surprised that he performed the way that he did. I would certainly take him in a must-win game over Connor Hellebuck. I mean, you and I have discussed that before. So, and this is an opportunity for Hellebuck, though, to truly make a statement, right? It's another chance for him to do that.
Yeah, I actually don't think he's going to be the starter. I would be leaning toward the Dallas goaltender. Escapes me. Ottinger is the good thing is the U.S. has a plethora of options of options there, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
What'd you make out of Jacob Markstrom the other night for the Devils? They lose 9-0, and he doesn't get pulled. He stays in there the entire game. What do you think the mindset is? The young defenseman there, Luke Hughes, he's taken some criticism, had 2 own goals in 1 game. He's got the big contract. I just feel like all of a sudden New Jersey is just going the wrong direction here.
Yeah, they're one of the teams, and we can point to a few of them in the East that are currently outside the playoff picture. That's a real anomaly. I question like what the thought process was for Sheldon Keefe to do that. I don't know. I think sometimes coaches get inside their own heads. The only logical explanation I can think of is I want to piss these guys off so bad that they rally around each other. And it's kind of that's the Mike Keenan stuff that used to happen, the psychology that used to happen. I'm not sure how effective that is for today's athletes. I think you more have to appeal to their care factor and the fact that you care. I just don't know if that was a crucial mistake in doing that, and what the real motivation and how well thought out that was.
Yeah. Well, Jacob Markstrom, he handled it well after the game. I saw his comments. I mean, he took the responsibility. What do you make out of Luke Hughes? I mean, if his last name wasn't Hughes, would he be getting the contract that he's playing under right now? He got the big ticket. He was a holdout in camp. And it's not just this game. I think his overall performance, his overall game. Now, some people would say he's the best defenseman they've had there in a long time. I heard somebody say the other day the best that they've had since Scotty Niedermayer and whatnot. So, I mean, he's got a lot of upside, but with that contract comes expectations. You just wonder if he's been shielded a little bit because of his last name and his brother being the best player on the team.
Well, a little bit. I think there's a little bit of that, but not. I mean, he's earned that contract. I think that a lot of these guys get a contract based on the projection, not what they've done. So, I think the projection is correct. I think that we all want these younger players to have a linear path. We see the Z Buems, we see the other Quinn Hughes. We see their explosion onto the scene and the instant success. And we have little time or patience for hiccups or regression. And I think that's normal. I think that it's the best league in the world. And unfortunately, when you're making that much money, the mistakes you make are going to be magnified. I think that he's a great defenseman and he'll figure it out. And the hope as these kids go through, and I say kid, but as they go through their figuring it out process, the biggest thing is that he maintains and keeps his confidence. So that's on the coaching staff, that's on the assistant coaches showing video, that's on his willingness to improve and take the feedback to heart.
Yeah. And he will. This guy, he's too talented. And that's the benefit of having your brother there, who's the captain of the team, and having another brother who's in the league. I mean, these guys obviously are there for him to lean on and to help out from an advice standpoint and make sure his confidence stays high. How surprised were you that Sam Bennett wasn't named initially to the Canada roster? I mean, this is one of the all-time shocking moves that we've seen in a while. At least for me, I thought he was a slam dunk, just an automatic lock to be on there.
Yeah, I'm incredibly surprised. I wonder if the dynamic of the Lightning and the Panthers, how much that had to do with it, because you know, who did he take? Who's the fourth line checking centerman from Tampa?
He took Sorelli, right?
Sorelli. So I I I think that that's a mistake. I think it should be Sam Bennett. I think that there's a closeness for and a trust factor there that obviously that Cooper has with that player. I think a consummate winner who plays the right. It's not like he's just a skill guy.
Mm-hmm.
He could play that role that Sorelli's doing, and I think he does it better. So, um, but to his credit, this guy is a massive, like, quality person. His play has gotten better since that. And there was no like, woe is me comments on his. He knows that if he felt slighted,
You
he
wouldn't
didn't
know
show it.
You wouldn't
He
know it.
wouldn't know.
His comments were unbelievable. It's a great message and example for future players of how to handle yourself when stuff like that. Because you never know how it's going to play out, Jamal. Listen, the roster as it sits right now for Canada and USA, these will not be the rosters that show up on day one of the Olympics in Milan. I mean, there's just been too many injuries. Too many players are going down. And they're going to need to rely on some of these guys. Some of these guys who were named will not be playing in the Olympics, or at least at the beginning of the Olympics.
Yeah, that's a great point. So, for example, the thought was that they might name Connor Bedard if they thought he was just on or off. And the idea was if you get to a point, and you'll know the date better than I would, and that said player, call it Bedard, was then deemed not ready to play, they could name a replacement. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that very likely that the top of the list has to be Sam Bennett if, one of the players on the current list were unable to play.
Especially with Tom Wilson, going down with injury and whatnot too. And I said on the Chemistry podcast this week in regards to Sam Bennett, I mean, John Cooper's got a lot of juice with that roster, Jamal. I mean, for him to get Sorelli and Hagel, point belongs there. We all know that. But he got Sorelli and Hagel. I mean, Mike Sullivan couldn't get Adam Fox. You know what I mean? And they had Chris Drury on that staff too, who obviously is the GM there with the Rangers. They couldn't get their Norris Trophy winner on USA's roster. And they were pushing really hard from what I understand. And for Cooper to be able to get Sorelli and Hagel, I mean, if you were to take a poll with NHL general managers around the league and you said, hey, you could have Sorelli or Sam Bennett on your team, how many GMs are taking Sorelli over Bennett?
Well, I'll take it a step further. How many GMs are taking Hagel over Bennett?
Hagel over Bennett.
So, yeah, but that's the benefit of being the coach, right?
Yeah.
And I went to.
You're right. And if you're going to be the coach, hey, listen, you got to give me the opportunity to have some say in terms of who I'm bringing with me,
And that's what I played for Team Canada, fortunately, 3 times. And one of the times was with a bunch of Blues players with Eric Brewer and Jay McClement, myself, and Barrett Jackman, and we ended up winning the tournament. So that was Andy's, he took 4 of us to that tournament. And I think that that likely doesn't happen where you have 4 Blues players getting that opportunity for Team Canada if he's not the coach. So it happens all the time. And there'll be a lot of questioning if they don't win. And I think that's something that Cooper is prepared to do.
Yeah. Andy Murray, being the head coach. I remember when you guys all went there. I remember talking to Andy Murray when you guys were over there. He would answer his phone and stuff. Oh man, it's so funny, man. How times were back then. But you guys did win the gold. And listen, Cooper deserves it, man. This guy he's widely considered the best coach in the game. And it's no different than I think if Scotty Bowman or one of these guys were coaching the Olympics team years ago or whatever, they should have the ability to take the guys that they know and who they trust. But I just wonder, there is so much hatred between Tampa Bay and Florida. I get it. You want to bring Sorelli and Hagel. I just don't know how you get to a result where Sam Bennett's the guy who's left without a chair when the music stops, but.
Yeah, and I think probably they would argue that Marchand took that Bennett spot. Okay. Marchand's play took Bennett's spot. So that would probably be the argument that they might, if they were being honest. I think that's what they would probably say.
Yeah. And he won the Conn Smythe, and obviously he had a great Four Nations too. He was a big part of that team who won. Utah getting the outdoor game. We've got Tyson Nash coming on after you. The Blues are headed to Utah. I'm headed there later on today. I'm looking forward to seeing an NHL game for the first time in Utah. Like, that should be a pretty nice scene, right? Outdoor game in Utah.
With the backdrop of the mountains and playing Colorado, like it's gonna be beautiful. It's a unique place. You'll have a good time. There's limited choices of things to do, but yeah, I've done a couple games there as well. So yeah, I think it's really exciting, and I think it's a great idea to head there as early in their inception, and it's going to be a beautiful backdrop. I'm going to be really interested to see where they put it and how it's going to look.
What'd you think of the Winter Classic in Miami?
That was cool. I think it's always a spectacle, and I'm excited because the end of the month we have a tournament in Florida, our AAA Blues 2012 team, and we're gonna stay an extra day and catch the outdoor game there. So we'll get a little taste of what that's like because Boston's playing Tampa, as you know, on I believe February 1st or 2nd. But yeah, I think it's so cool that the NHL is able to put these events on in warm climates. They're getting so good at it.
Any surprises from USA Hockey's roster? Or did you like that roster?
Yeah, I mean, Robertson jumps off the page for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about Billy G does not like Robertson. It's weird. And Caulfield, I think that those two are a surprise. But you know what? I think it's a compliment to the US that there actually are now debates of who should be on that team. No offense to my good buddy, not good buddy, but my former teammate Sean Podine, but there was a time when he was on the roster and there was nobody else better than him to be on the US roster. So USA Hockey's come a long way.
Shajon. SHJON.
Exactly.
One of the greatest people ever.
Awesome
nice
human
guy. All right, Jamal. Safe travels back to St. Louis. Who brought you to Hockey Sense this week?
Well, first of all, you know about Dobbs, and we're right in the middle of it with the winter, and it can be a little bit strange weather in St. Louis. And Dobbs is locally owned, over 40 locations all around town. And the best part about it is they'll be honest with you. You go in there and you tell them what happened, and how many times I've had to patch a hole or whatever it is. Oh, there's a nail. You don't need to replace the tire. They're completely honest with you and rotate your tires, do whatever. That's not all they do. They can diagnose and fix anything for any kind of vehicle. And the best part about it is they're locally owned, they're family owned, great people, and they'll take care of you. I know you have several examples of your wife running over curbs and running over things, and they've been taking care of you for years. So if you need any help, go to Dobbs.com for more. That's one of my unbelievable sponsors. They've been around for me for years. Next is Barlino's. They've got 5 restaurants: Barlino's South, Barlino's Austria, Chris's Pancake and Dining, Chris is at the Docket, and Barlino's Twin Oaks. Forged many lasting relationships with their customers. Their family model: cook good food, serve plenty. 50 years in business, over 50 years. 2 places designed at home or one of Barlino's family of restaurants. And then one more, bud. Don't be stealing my sponsor. I know you're on top of this with Spas and More. Their local master
Angie.
spas. That's it. Dealer with 2 locations: Sunset Hills and Overland Park, Kansas City. Mike Leahy's the owner. The Master Spas is an American hot tub and swim spa manufacturer located in Fort Wayne. They're the largest hot tub and swim spa manufacturer in the U.S. You know about the Chili Goat tubs, Michael Phelps tubs. Angie Hess, Mike's daughter, she'll be there to take care of you at the Sunset Hills location. Spas and More offers quality hot tubs, swim spas, cold tubs, and infrared saunas for all of your health, wellness, and relaxation needs. Turn your backyard into the oasis of your dreams with a master spas from Spas and More. Spas and More located at 12957 Gravois Road in Sunset Hills, where we put the
in spa.
There you go.
Love Angie and the spas. All right. All the best, man.
You're weaseling in there. Are you going to get a spot too? Or are you just going to wait to come over to my house?
We'll see.
Check it out.
We'll see. It's hard to say no to those. That's everything. All right. Safe travels back, man. We'll see you maybe in studio next week. Where are you at next week?
We'll talk about it. Okay. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I got to look at the schedule.
Gotcha.
Next week. Yeah, I'm away.
All right, bud.
But no, next week I'll be home. We'll do it next week.
Okay. I'll see you in studio next Friday.
Awesome.
All right, man.
Safe travels.
Take care, Jamal. Appreciate it.
See you, buddy. Later.
All right, Jamal Mayers joining us. Again, we've got Tyson Nash coming up next. Stick around. Hockey Sense continues after this. All right, in case you didn't know, it was Nasher on the screen. He got the big painting. Who did the painting behind you?
Hey, like I'm just looking at my shirt now too. So this is not Nash; it's the Nashville, right? So it was a gift. I
You don't
clearly
want
have
your
nothing
shirt with your
for-
name on it?
Yeah, I mean, what do you call that? That's like narcissistic. I think I got paintings on the wall here. I mean, this is these are for my kids though, and my wife. So they got to stay up. They got to go up. I don't have a nice jersey like you do with Strick in the back there, number 9. Nice, you're representing my old number too, by the way.
Absolutely.
And I know, closet Nash fan, but yeah, this is my little office. A lot of the family decisions are made here. A lot of smoke, and the Nash cast, baby. This is where the Nash cast is cooking. So
Wow.
yeah.
Wow, I love it. I love it. Who and who did the painting? Did you say who did it?
Her name is Sam. That's how I know
Like, did
her.
the Blues
My
give
wife.
that to you? Like, on like was it
No.
like a milestone, like for your 100th game at the
Milestone.
Blue?
Have you seen my resume? I had 0 milestones in my career. No, I didn't even make 400 games. But yeah, it was rough. No, my family bought these. I'm sure they weren't cheap. I think I'm still paying them off. So yeah.
I love it. I used to love watching you play though, Nash. Don't be too self-deprecating, man. You were so much fun to watch. Is there anybody in the league that reminds you of yourself? Do we have anybody like you around anymore or no?
Oh man, I think it's a dying breed. Like it really is, and it shouldn't be. I mean, because I think it's so valuable still. I mean, if you're a thorn in the side of the other team, you're going after the best players, and now what do you have to worry about? I mean, I would not be scared for 1 second. I literally had to change my shorts every single game because I was so scared of what was coming. What I did last game, how stupid I was, what I said, and knowing that you would have to pay for it the next time you played that team, right? And now I don't think I'd be all that worried about it. So I don't know. Is there someone out there right now that plays like that? Not really. I mean, I think Steve Ott and Heinold and Avery and myself and Barnaby, I think we were a dying breed. And but I do think that GMs are looking for a player like that, right?
Mhm.
I really do. I mean, I can't say Sam Bennett because Sam Bennett's an unreal player, right?
Or Tom Wilson, who scores 30.
Right.
Nathan Walker, Nathan Walker's
yeah.
a good player, man, here in St. Louis, kind of like embodies some of that. But again, it's still different than how you played. I just feel like the way hockey players, and your son's going through it now, he's playing college hockey, like how they're recruited nowadays, right? They're not really looking for that. It's like they want all the most skilled, fastest offensive players, and then we're going to turn you into a fourth line guy. And
Amen. I say it. That's the first question when I see a GM, because I am going through it. I look at my own son. I'm like, how do you guys not go out and get a Jordan Martinook? Like, how are you not looking for a Jordan Martin or a Tom Wilson? I mean, I can't even say that name because he scores 30 goals a year. So that's a bad example. But I mean, those are the kind of players that fill roles, right? You look at Team USA, you look at Team Canada, they're going to need some of those skill players to play that type of role because they're not going to get top 6 minutes. They're going to play 8 minutes a night. So what are you going to do in those 8 minutes, right? And I think it's so valuable because you're 1,000% right. A GM picks the most skilled player and picks him in the 5th, 6th, 7th round or whatever it is, and then they turn him into a 4th or a 3rd line plug. I mean, you can't do that. It's not in their DNA. So for me, it's a head scratcher why GMs aren't going out and getting an unreal, the best face-off man in the CHL, the best hitter. I mean, penalty killer, all those things that matter, right? That make you win. But whatever.
But like,
it's over my pay grade.
Do junior coaches and GMs, do they even value those players anymore? Like when they're out recruiting and they're drafting, I mean, are they looking for those guys who are playing AAA hockey, like looking for the guy who may not be leading the team in scoring, but finishes every hit and is an intimidating presence every time he touches the ice,
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, I think everyone, maybe it's the way the game's changing and, the skill of it, all that. They're worried about wasting a pick or, what signing on a player like that. Right. But again, I mean, when I was in the American Hockey League. I mean, Greg Gilbert was one of the best coaches I ever had besides Joel Quenneville, but he taught me, he goes, dude, they have enough skill guys. They have all the skill that they could ever need up with the Blues at that time. They need this. They need a winger who can get the puck out, get the puck in, hits everything that moves. I mean, creates havoc. That's what they need. If you can give them that, then you have something to hang on to, right? And I did it to an absolute T. It wasn't part of my DNA. I put up goals in the in junior. I put up 35 goals in junior, 75 points. But you have to adjust. You have to adapt, and I think that's where it makes you really dangerous. Like for my kid, for example, you can play on the fourth line, you can play on the first line. Kill penalties, you can play in the power play. I think those players are really valuable. But unless today you're putting up, 50, 40 points in college or 80 or 90 points in junior, you're not getting noticed.
We used to have the record book back in the day. We'd get it at the beginning of every year. And one of my best memories of you is what you told Mike Keane that you scored over 30 goals in junior. He didn't believe you, and he went and got the record book and looked up your stats, and he brought it back into the dressing room. Do you remember that? I mean,
I do.
Do you? Okay, good.
I do. I also remember my first ever game as a Blue. I'm sitting there, and it's an afternoon game against the Dallas Stars. And Daryl Sador is one of my best buddies on the other team. And I line up against Mike Keane, and I'm like, screw this. I'm like, I put my stick right in his glove. I'm just giving it to him. I chop him on the skate laces, and he looks at me. He's like, "Are you kidding me?" And all I can hear is Daryl Sador on the bench going, "Don't do it. Don't do it. Whatever you do." And I'm like, oh my God. I go, this guy must be a killer. Sure enough, after the game, I look at his fight tapes. I'm like, this guy was a murderer. I wouldn't have made it out of that game if I fought Keener, who obviously I later played with in St. Louis, but ended up fighting Pat Verbeek, by the way. Oh. So we kind of poked each other's eyes out a little bit with our schnozzes.
There you go.
Sword fight.
There you go. He's doing a hell of a job too right now, man. And I love the fact that he brought in Joel and whatnot. So, how's Utah doing? Like, if you were to describe Utah as a hockey team, because they got off to such a hot start, and this is why you always kind of pump the brakes when you talk to coaches and GMs, they don't get too, you got to stay even keel, especially early in the season because it's such a long year. And Anaheim's another example. They've lost a number of games in a row. So who is Utah, in your opinion? Are they a playoff team?
Well, they haven't proven that yet. The jury's out, right? I mean, I think the biggest deal, and you have to go back to Arizona. I mean, because a lot of those players are still the same, right? And they keep it close right up until playoffs, and then the wheels fall off, right? For whatever reason. And the schedule, the ups and downs. It's been a roller coaster for this group. Good thing is they're still in the fight. I mean, I think they won 3 in a row. Yeah. They're starting to roll, and now they have, I think, the next 6 at home, which I think is going to dictate whether they become a playoff team or not, right? And I think the biggest thing for me is, can their top players, can their Kellers, Gunthers, Coolies, Sergachevs, can they step up when it matters the most? When you're in the fight mid to late March, can you put a streak together? Because that's when you need it, right? And this team has been famous back in the Arizona days. When they're out of the playoffs, they will pop off and win 10, 12 in a row. And I'm like, oh, that's great. Great. Because that's what losers do, right? That's what losers do. They win when it doesn't matter. Can you win when it matters? And I think it's taken a while, but I think they got so close last year. And I think the hunger is just there. And the best thing that Utah did was put the C on Clayton Keller's jersey, because he has taken his game to a whole other level. And this year, I think, is going to be the year that, yes, they will make the playoffs because of what Clayton Keller does down the stretch. Nick Schmaltz, Lawson Krause, Sergachev, who's been there many times before. So I think that is going to be the difference maker for me.
Yeah, and I love Clayton so much, man. And he's been through an awful lot, obviously, personally. He's had some adversity this year. But you just know, if you know Clayton Keller, you know what it means to him to make that Olympic team. I mean, this guy is such a hockey nut. You knew he grew up watching the Olympics, and I don't know how he would have reacted if he didn't make the team. I'm just so happy for him that he's on there, man. And he deserves to be on there. There's no doubt about that.
1,000%. And this is the guy who put up 90 points last year. And I think what I saw from Clayton Keller when he didn't get named to 4 Nations, that's what I really liked, right? Him stepping up. Every time they played Minnesota, he stuck it right up Guerin's butt, right? He's like, you suck on this. I'll put up 4 points for you and take you guys down and make it really interesting to, that you guys even make the playoffs. But I think it's going to be a lot of pressure on Clayton Keller, and he's up for the task. I mean, this guy, biggest moments, he comes through in a big way. So I expect big things. He expects big things out of him. And I know this means so much, as you mentioned, his father passing away on Thanksgiving this year. I can't even imagine. I think, he played shortly after that night or the next night in St. Louis, which was just absolutely craziness, right? But his dad's looking down, smiling, and so proud of his kid. And he's been a part of the U.S. program for a long, long time. So this certainly is going to be an exciting time for Keller, but also a lot of pressure. And I cannot wait to see what he does.
It's a lot of pressure, but it's not all on him though either, right? I mean, there's other guys. It's the Austin Matthews, it's the Kachuk brothers, it's other that they can kind of alleviate some of that pressure off of Clayton Keller and allow him just to go play and just be free, which is a dangerous sign for all the other countries, that he can just kind of settle in and just, whatever his role is, go out there and play it to a T,
Yeah, no, there is that mindset, but then there's the mindset that he wasn't on the team in the Four Nations when they didn't win, right? So now he is. So now what are you going to do for us, right? So now you could be the difference maker, and he wants to be the difference maker. And that's what drives Clayton Keller, right? That's his passion, is he wants to be the guy, right? And, he's going to be one of the guys for Team USA. But I also like the move because chemistry matters for me. And Clayton Keller grew up playing with the Kachucks his entire life, in St. Louis. So I think that's a huge plus. Austin Matthews, his relationship with him as well. So that stuff matters. It really does. And I think Bill Guerin definitely made the right move.
And the fact that he went to the World Championships and he was the captain of that team, they win the gold medal for the first time in like 1,000 years. So
I don't love the World Championships. I think that's the biggest joke. I do. I hate to say it. I mean, yes, it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's great. It's unbelievable.
It was good for him.
Yes, but the real players are in the playoffs.
I know.
Let's be honest. I mean, I think Jamal Mayers made Team Canada one year at the World Championships. 3 times. Yeah. And nothing against Jamal, because I love the guy. I mean, you know that. He was my teammate. He was my line mate forever. But I mean, if it's Jamal Mayers or it's, Jerome McGinley, so it's, you just don't have the best players. But what an opportunity. No. What a moment. Now I feel bad because I just threw him under the bus.
But I will say, talking to Billy G and even John Van Beesbrook, I mean, guys who were in the room, I mean, listen, they needed to perform in the NHL this season, but guys like him and Tage Thompson, I think it did go a long way that they went over there last year and they won it. Performed at the level that they performed at, and then followed it up obviously this year, and both are overly deserving to be on the team. They probably should have been on last year.
They do. And here's the other thing, Strick, too, is that these guys haven't played that brand of hockey like forever. Mm-hmm. How long has Clayton Keller been in the league? 7-8 years?
I know.
Like, he's never made the playoffs. Tage Thompson too. So it was an opportunity to see what these guys could do, in those pressure moments. And they certainly found out a lot about Thompson and obviously Keller and Logan Cooley as well. I think Cooley led the entire team. So
I know all those guys could end up being a big part of it moving forward, I would think, in the next Olympics and obviously the World Cups that are coming up. What do you make out of Utah getting the outdoor game? I feel like this was in the works, right? From the beginning.
From day one. I know I talked on the Nashcast, our show, and please subscribe, follow along, Nashcast official on all the socials. Ryan kind of spilled the beans when we had him on the show. Gary Bettman popped in as well to have a conversation, and they were talking openly about the outdoor game and eventually Utah getting it. I don't know if we knew it was going to be, next year, but it is. And it's so well deserving. And I'll also say this, it's amazing what happens when you have an unreal owner in Ryan and Ashley Smith. You get rewarded by doing the right things. And, look at what Utah has done and been through and put together. I mean, it is absolutely incredible. So yes, Gary Bettman is going to reward them. And the backdrop to this game, it might be the best one ever. Mm-hmm. I'm not joking. Like, you're sitting in those seats, you're looking around, fans coming in to watch the game. I mean, you could be up at Park City, Deer Valley in 25 minutes, and then you're down watching a hockey game, outdoors. It doesn't get any better. Our game, it's a celebration. I know it's much more than a game as well. It's about family, it's friends, it's about a community. And I think you heard that from Ryan and even Gary, in the press conference, just talking about hockey is a community, right? And that's what they're trying to create in Utah.
All right, 2 more things for you. First off, Will Arizona get a team again? Like, is that in the works? Like, what's going on behind the scenes in Arizona?
You know what? I don't get too excited about it. Sadly, and it's super sad because we were here for 28 years and we did so many good things, right? But we just never had ownership. And we had a group that thought it was going to be a good idea to put a rink, 40, 50 miles outside of town in the middle of a farmer's field. I mean, who thought that was going to be a good idea? I mean, that's where everything went sideways. It's one of the best cities in America. I know you know that. I think there's 7 or 8 million people here, so it can handle it. It deserves it. But you have to almost get in bed with the Suns, right? You cannot build, and I think that's what it comes down to. It's so much about politics. It's so much about fighting against the Suns, and we're not going to let the Coyotes build a bigger, better entertainment district, facility, arena, a few miles down the road from us, because then you're going to steal all the concerts, all the advertising, all the things, right? And that was just never going to happen. So you almost need to get in bed with the Suns, build an arena together, because it works. You look at LA, you look at every big city in America, they have a basketball team, they have a hockey team, and it works.
All right, tell us about the Nash cast.
Ooh, yeah, baby. So the Nash cast
is had Duncan Keith on?
Oh, dude, Scott Niedermayer, Duncan Keith. I mean, I think we've had like 14 Hall of Famers on our show. So it's a lot like the Peyton Manning cast. If you've seen that for the NFL, we live stream the game, and we talk about the game a little bit, but it's story time. We had Mark Grace on, Kelly Chase, and we're telling the funniest stories literally you've ever heard. I've spit my dentures out 4 or 5 times on the show because it's so funny. And then we always have a crasher, right? So we'll have a crasher come in. So, for Kelly, we had Kelly Chase on the show, obviously. Love the dude. He's up for a big award here on Monday night, I believe, with you guys. I don't know when this is going to be released, but
it's coming up Monday. He just sent me a text, or he just called, and I missed his call. And you know how when you leave a voicemail, it like shows up what he's saying. He calls me Jimmy Olsen, because like the old reporter from like Superman or whatever. He's like, "You're not that important." That's what he just said on my.
Oh yeah, and he gets pissed when you don't answer the phone. He's like, "Oh, you're so busy, you can't answer me."
You're not that important, Jimmy Olsen. That's what he said.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not just me he gives it to. But anyway, we had Chaser on, and then we crashed him with Mark Grace, who's a good buddy of his.
And he didn't know.
And he didn't know. So it's so fun, right? The surprise. And obviously it's always a mentor. It's a mom and a dad. It's someone that had a massive impact on your life. And we talked for a period, and then we let you go. And so 3 periods in the game, we got three guests and 3 Nash crashers. And I'll tell you what, some of the stories are off the charts. We're just starting to get marketing out there. We just started an Instagram and a YouTube account this summer. So we're a little behind the 8 ball, but we're chipping away slowly but surely. Our next show is February 2nd and 4th. My co-host is going to be Matthew Barnaby as well. So that is going to be an absolute hoot. Everyone knows Matthew Barnaby, one of the biggest mouths, trash talkers, disturbers on the planet. So I cannot wait to have Barnaby in the house.
So you always bring a surprise guest. So like Duncan Keith, who was the surprise?
Well, so we had Seabrook on the hook, and then he canceled last minute. He was skiing somewhere up with his family. It would have been Seabrook, but almost even better, we had Eddie Olchuk jump on the show. So he crashed Duncan Keith, told some amazing stories, and they spent obviously a long, long time together. They won 3 cups in 6 years in Chicago together. So the stories were absolutely endless. So
did you have Cam on?
Cam Jansen, yeah. Oh yeah, we
surprised him.
Who surprised Cam? Twister. We had Tony Twist surprise him because obviously Cam Jansen. I mean, he grew up in Eureka. I mean,
he may have told you that once or twice.
I'm like, who names their city Eureka? Like, it could be the worst city name on the planet. It's almost as bad as Darren Poopa for a name, right? But anyway, he surprised me. He said Tony Twist. That's who he fell in love because he saw him go out there and just smash somebody.
Oh yeah.
Took his jersey off. He had the big
guns,
tiger tattoo on his shoulder. He's like, I want to do that. I want to be that guy. So super cool that Twister did it, obviously, and it's a big part of the show. So we had a ton of fun.
All right, Nasher. Hey, thanks for doing this, man. Always appreciate. Always great catching up with you.
You bet, buddy. Tell Jammer I said hi and sorry. He deserved to be on Team Canada.
He should have been on the Olympic team.
Yeah, what a joke. He got ripped.
Iserman, Jammer.
Yeah, exactly. Again, come on.
All right,
He
man.
was good in the face-off circle.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah. I was good in the locker room. That's where they kept me.
He was good on the PK, too. He was good PK.
He was.
So,
he was.
all the
Thanks
best.
for having me,
We'll be
buddy.
in touch.
Sounds good.
See you, Tyson.
See ya.
See you, bud. That's Tyson Nash. Always great to catch up with him, man. Entertaining, energetic, fun. That's what you like to see. All right. Speaking of, well, Jamal Mayers has already been on with us, so that worked out perfectly fine. So I don't think Jamal will hear what Tyson had to say there. But all in good jest, and of course, they were teammates for a long time. Always great to catch up with Tyson Nash. On this edition of Hockey Sense, brought to you by First Community. We'll wrap up the show after this. Don't go anywhere. All right, hope you enjoyed this edition of Hockey Sense. Tyson Nash, always great to catch up with him, man. Great stuff. Utah's got it going on. Excited to see Clayton Keller and the rest of the group, obviously, play tomorrow night in Utah. And then, of course, the Winter Classic next year. And always great to have Jamal Mayers with us as well. Blue Note Roofing, don't forget, 314-920-5713. Of course, Hockey Sense. Where would we be without our great sponsors, including our friends David Novak and everybody over there at Blue Note Roofing? Get that free estimate today. Do it today with Blue Note Roofing. Make sure you're secure with Hackett Security. I know that I am. You know, I travel. You know, you want to make sure everything's secure when you're away. Well, it certainly is with Hackett Security. Residential, commercial, government security. I mean, these guys do it all, and they can speak any language you speak. So if you're Mandarin, you need somebody to deal with who speaks Mandarin, they got you covered. 314-432-4200. Give them a call today. You can always check out their incredible website as well, HackettSecurity.com. Find the solution that works best for you. Make sure your life is secure with Hackett Security. I'm telling you, man, it's a peace of mind when you go away, man. You want to make sure everything's taken care of, and it certainly is with Hackett Security. Kirkwood Fence. We love our friends over at Kirkwood Fence. Since 1979, are you kidding me? Get one of those fence experts to come over today. Lay it all out for you. They handle everything, all the permits and everything. So if you're like, hey, I don't want to deal with all the permits and the paperwork I got to deal with the city and everything, they handle all of that for you, so you don't have to worry about it. Long-standing fence contractor serving the greater St. Louis area, including Fenton, Missouri. Since 1979, they offer residential and commercial fencing, wood, vinyl, chain link, custom gates. And then if you have issues, they come out and repair it very, very quickly. Backyard structures, pergolas, gazebos, full service experience with a dedicated consultant for each project, from initial consultation and design to installation and cleanup. They show up when they say they're going to show up, and they do it on time. Check it out. Kirkwood Fence. You can check them out online at kirkwoodfence.com. Kirkwood Fence. And of course, our title sponsor, where would we be without our friends over at First Community? Get to First Community today. Open an account that makes sense for you. They are the best banking option going in the country. And I can tell you that right now. I mean, they do everything. Members Best Home Loan. I love this. If you're ready to buy a new home, you'll need a new home loan. But what's the best kind of home loan? Most people would say they want a 30-year term to keep the payment affordable, plus a great rate and low closing costs and all that. Listen, First Community has that loan. Their Members Best Home Loan has a rate of 6% for a 30-year term. Are you kidding me? I mean, you got to be kidding me with that. No fee for the application, no fee for processing, no fee for the closing of your home loan. So apply today for a Members Best Home Loan. Terms and conditions apply. You can call toll-free 1-888-642-7969 to learn more. Again, 1-888-642-7969 to learn more. All right, hope you enjoyed this edition of Hockey Sense. Always great to be with you. Hope everyone had a great holiday, a great new year. We are back now for the rest of the year. We won't be going anywhere. Hockey Sense year-round. Cam and Strick podcast year-round. We thank Maddie, everybody here with Half Coast Studios, Alex, the entire team, man. We love being here. We love being back. Half Coast Studios, baby. Check it out. You want to do your own podcast? Hey, maybe that's somewhere you want to be. Half Coast Studios. Work with Maddie and the entire crew. Hit me up if you're interested. We'll be back next Friday for another edition of Hockey Sense. Although today's Thursday. Sometimes we mix it up depending on travel and all that. You know where to find us. YouTube and all your podcast platforms. You can find Hockey Sense presented by First Community. Have a great weekend, everybody.